And welcome back to the kitchen. So tonight what I want to show you is one of my old favorites. Developed it probably 20 years ago. It's a very cheap meal so that's why I'm just showing you. So if you go to Woolworths, you can get these 8 sausages for $6. I know they're not as good as a butcher, but I'm just trying to show you that if you're a uni student or living alone, single mum, whatever, if you don't have a lot of money, this is a very healthy meal, and it tastes great and very nutritious. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So what I'm going to have with it is an onion gravy, basically. So we're just going to cut up the onion, and of course mashed potato. You've got to have mashed potato with it, so I'm going to mash this one up, and I'll have some cheap frozen veg as well to go with it, which we'll get to later. So the first thing I do is just open it up, if you keep them in here, because these are Woolworths sausages, they're probably not going to be that tasty. So this is my go-to seasoning. This is probably my favourite multi-purpose seasoning in the whole world. It's really good on pork, any sort of pork, things like that. It's good on lamb as well. So it's called Tuscan seasoning. It's got a bit of everything in it. You just get this from Woolies. I'll just give that a bit of a sprinkle on there. And then I'm just going to roll them around in there. Now, you don't have to put this on. Completely optional, okay? I do because I like it. But if you can't afford to buy spices, or you don't want to use spices and things, then don't do it. It's fine. Get your sausages from the butcher, get them from Coles, get them from Woolies, wherever you want. It's up to you. So just going to set that aside. Now I'm going to quickly get the potato on first. So we're just going to peel the potato. I still like these old school peelers because for me they're quick. Okay. And there we go, potato's done, peeled. I'll wash that in a second and I'll get it onto a pot of water that I've already got turned up full boil, because I want to boil this, get it to the boil, and then the trick I normally do is set the clock for 20 minutes after it's boiled. At 20 minutes it comes out nice and soft, ready to mash. Okay, so let's just cut it up into smaller bits so it cooks quicker. That's why we do this. And we're going to mash it all up anyway. So that's in the pot. Lid on. Now let's go to the onion. I've shown this before, but we'll do it again. How I cut onions. You don't have to do it like this. This is how I do it. Cut the ends off and then cut it in half. Just like that. That way it's easy to peel. Like that. I'm going to put some garlic in as well. I just remembered I didn't take that out. But what I'm using is minced garlic, but you can use garlic, normal garlic. The reason why I often use it, hang on. Because, if you get normal garlic, sometimes it can go bad, it can start to grow shoots out the top, dries out and everything. This stuff, it's just minced garlic, it's just handy. I keep it in the fridge and it lasts a long time. And 1 teaspoon, which is this one, is equivalent to 1 clove of garlic, right? So it's just, I just use it because it's easier. So what I want to do is cut the onions Not too thin, you don't want them ridiculously thick either. This is going to make up our onion gravy, as you'll see. Okay. That's it, that's all we're going to do, because once we get them in the fry pan they're going to start to cook and they're going to break up into their rings like that, okay? So to that I want to add 2 of these bad boys. Again, it's your choice. If you don't like garlic, then delete it. If you don't like that much garlic, put in whatever you want. So my potatoes are up to boil. And I've set the clock for 20 minutes. Now while I've been talking, I've had my fry pan. You want a, good fry pan. I've got it heated up. And we're going to do the onions first. I'm just going to scrape these straight in. So here I am back at the hot plate. So I'm just putting my onions in. I've got some vegetable oil in there that's come up to heat, temperature. And you can see I'm just going to even them out so they cook evenly. So what we're attempting to do here is just soften these up a bit, okay? Cook them, soften them. We don't want to fry the hell out of them. Because as you'll see, we're going to cook these later with the sausages in the gravy. So really for now, we're just going to cook them for a little bit and get them soft. So that can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, so I guess we'll come back. So here we are again back. Just about got these ready to where I want them. As you can see, some of them are a little bit brown, but we're not really trying to brown them. Just trying to soften them up, and probably. So it's really just having a look at it and getting used to the idea of doing this, to know when to take them out. But that's been on for about 7 minutes. And by the way, whilst this was sort of cooking away, I like to clean as I cook, so I've already cleaned up the utensils I've already used and don't need anymore. It just makes life easier at the end of it. You don't have as much to clean up. Okay, that's good. That's perfect actually. So what I want to do now is just set them aside is what I'm doing. Just putting them in here. Just for now. Oops. Okay. Get this back up to temperature. We might even put a little bit more oil in. So that was on a medium 6 out of 9 temperature. I'm now going to bung it up to 7. The reason is I want that coating to get a bit crispy on the outside, and then I'll turn it back down again later to 6. It's just my preference, you don't have to do that. I mean, I think in Australia cooking sausages on a barbecue is a bit of a rite of passage, to be honest. I've been doing this for a long time. So how do you know when a sausage is ready? You just do. It's just experience, that's all. So that's looking good. So now what I'm going to do, yeah, that's sizzling, that's what I want. I'm going to put my sausages in. These are beef sausages. You can get pork sausages, which work just as well. Chicken, I've never tried, but probably never would. I like to use beef for this particular recipe. Whatever floats your boat. And that's it. And all the bits and bobs in here. Just going to tip them in. And away we go. You're going to cook the snags. if you're not an Australian, a slang word for sausages is snags. S-N-A-G. Don't ask me where it came from. That's just what we call them. So like I said, I normally get these from the butcher, much nicer, but this is specifically to show you how to cook a meal on the cheap. Alright, now this meal easily will feed 4 adults for probably under $10, alright, because we're just using 1 onion. If I had other adults, I'd have more potato and stuff. These were $6, you know, 50 cents for an onion. Half a kilo of potatoes, you know, $3 or $4. So, you know, under maybe $12, you could feed 4 people. So that's pretty good value for money. Anyway, we'll come back when this is done. Okay, so I've finished cooking the sausages. I realised afterwards, if you've never done this before, I probably should have shown you more. But anyway, basically, when they're in there, every couple of minutes you just keep turning them, you know, once, leave it, come back, turn it. You'll see the sides that aren't cooked properly, you just keep turning them every few minutes. When they start off, they're very soft and squishy, but as they cook, they firm up, okay, so they've got firm. I haven't cooked these completely. I'm pretty sure if I cut in the middle, they're still going to be a little bit raw, and that's only because I'm going to now put these back on the heat and cook them through, you know, like a stew sort of thing, you know. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now the other thing I've done is I've taken my fry pan off of the heat. I've emptied all the oil out of it, but I've left all the nice little bits and pieces in there, right? I've got it over here cooling down, and I've turned my hot plate right down to 3, because we're going to start to put the gravy in. And if you put gravy into a really hot pan, it's just going to go to hell in a handbasket, okay? It'll just lump up. And that's okay anyway, because now, whilst that's cooling, I'm going to cut these up. Now they are hot. I have to keep some of these ends for my dog. It's part of the deal we've got, that she doesn't bark and carry on like a lunatic during these recordings, and in return she gets a treat, so I give her the ends. And all I'm going to do now is cut these up. Oh, that one fell apart a bit. And do you remember our onion bowl? I'm just going to put them in there. They'll all come together soon. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll just speed it up or do this quickly. So there you have it. I've cut them all up. Just give them a bit of a stir to mix them. Okay. And that's it. Let's just leave that over there for now. Now we're going to do some gravy. Now I've done an experiment. Normally I've used Gravox, which is a brand name. I've been using it for decades. But Woolworths have brought out their own brand, as they do, their own version of it, which is 1/3 of the price. So I just thought, out of curiosity, I wanted to see if it's any good. You know, because if you can't afford Gravox, you can get this stuff really dirt cheap, okay? Now, I've used it for the last week. I've been using it, and I actually think it is actual Gravox. They've just rebranded it in plain packaging, for the poor people, basically. They do stuff like that. So things like flour, rice, you know, there's no reason why you need to buy the brand names. So I've just, the mix is 1 cup to 1.5 tablespoons. I want 2 cups, so I need 3 tablespoons, okay? And there we go. That's 3 tablespoons to 2 cups of water, which is going to be perfect for us. Get my whisk. Let's just use this one. Okay. Now we don't just chuck the water in, we put a little bit in and we start whisking as we go and gradually increase the water. Because if you just chuck the whole lot in, it'll just be a big lumpy mess, right? So that's mixed. So 1 more cup. And this one I can just tip straight in, okay, because it's already mixed up. And just give it a stir like that. So now we're going to move back over to the hot plate. So here we are back at the hot plate. I'm putting my pan back on. I've got it right down at 3. Because I'm making a video, of course, so I've got to keep stopping and starting. These potatoes are basically done, but I also want to do some mixed veg. So I've just taken them off the heat for now. That's why they're sitting there. Normally this would have all been happening at the same time, but as you realise, stop, start, stop, start. It's all over the shop. So just bringing this back up to temperature. It's a very soft temperature. And I should have used my plastic whisk because I don't want to scratch up the bottom of this. And what we're going to do is get the gravy in there, like that. And now you just want to gently stir it around, right? It takes a little while because we've got it on such a low heat, but you want a low heat. You want this to gradually heat up. You do not want it hot to start with, it'll ruin it. Okay? So I'm just stirring it until it starts to thicken a little bit, which it's doing. Probably can't see it on the camera, but in the center it's definitely starting to thicken up. So I'm just moving the pan around a little bit so it heats up the outer edges as well. So I don't want it completely done because now I want to enter our sausages, onion and gravy and garlic into here. Get everything coated up. Get my lid. I'm going to put the lid on now and I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. You don't have to do this. Young'uns don't like doing this. They want to eat it right now. You could probably eat it right now. You probably could, but I don't. I'm going to put it on for 10 minutes. Gives me time to do my veggies as well. We'll come back. Okay, so we're finally finished and plated up. So I did some mashed potato, which is just, you know, you probably know how to do that, but you know, I just use the normal stuff, which is some butter, some salt and some milk. Mixed veg, cheap. I also like to include a piece of bread that's buttered. It's good for mopping up the gravy. And this is how it turned out. So I did that for 10 minutes, alright? But in the last 5 minutes, I took the lid off. And the reason why I do that is to thicken up the gravy, which has come out really nice, okay? As you can see. So there you go, it smells fantastic. Looks good. That's a meal that you'll get away with $3 to $4 per head, per serving, okay, which is really good value. This stuff keeps in the fridge the next day and reheat it, you know, in the microwave or in a pot on the stove. Heats up really well. Anyway, so give it a go, and for now, bon appetit, and I'll see you next time. Bye.